owner. When you look in the mirror and complain about fine lines at the corners of your eyes. When you sigh for your tired body after staying up late. Maybe never thought. 80 trillion cells in your body. In an almost pious way. Write an epic about love. They are the indigenous people of your life. Is a more loyal guardian than any significant other. From the microscopic warfare of the immune system to the organs. Organizational self-sacrifice. From precision transportation at the molecular level to a gentle farewell at the end of life. This is composed of cells, proteins and chemical signals. A hymn to life written together. It's playing out day and night in every corner of your body. How many cancerous cells does the body produce every day? The body will have 1 to 5 every day. Cells become cancerous. Immune cells will clear these cells in time. Prevent cancer. The body transports oxygen. How many red blood cells are produced per second? To allow oxygen to travel throughout the body for a second. It makes about 1 million red blood cells. The body before childbirth to prevent heavy bleeding. How much will the blood clotting index increase? A few days before giving birth. To prevent heavy bleeding during production. The body will increase the blood clotting index dozens of times. 1. Immune defense. Daily cellular sniper warfare. 1. Daily elimination of cancerous cells. Your body, like a city-state closely monitored by the immune system. Every day, about 15 cells are affected by DNA damage becomes cancerous. These mutinous cells will change surface protein structure. It's like putting a dangerous person label on your body. Natural killer cells, NK cells. Like a patrolman with a radar. By recognizing the cell surface, MHC molecules to determine whether abnormal. Once cancerous cells are found, it releases perforin to punch holes in its surface. Put grenades into the apoptotic program. While T cells are like missiles with precise navigation. After dendritic cells present antigens, targeting cancer cells specifically, inducing suicide through the fast signaling pathway. In the 10 minutes it takes you to sip your coffee, these soldiers have completed hundreds of life and death duels. Nip the flames of cancer in the bud. 2 white blood cell charge on the battlefield of infection. When bacteria break through the skin barrier, neutrophils will be guided by chemokines, like the first infantry to reach the battlefield, through the capillary wall by deforming motion. At the site of infection, release reactive oxygen species and proteases to kill pathogens. Macrophages. It is like a tank equipped with heavy weapons. Not only can it engulf bacteria, it secretes cytokines call for more immune cells. In a common case of tonsillitis, billions of white blood cells interact with germs, die together. The pus from there remains. It is the metal that the body fights for you. And here's what's even more amazing. The immune system is still hidden. Memory function, when B cells recognize antigens, will differentiate into plasma cells and produce antibodies, while retaining memory B cells. It's like having chickenpox. Memory cells lurk in the body for decades. Once the same virus invades, a second round of immunization will be initiated within 24 hours. Protect you from secondary harm. 2 life fuel stations. Millions of red blood cells. Second-level production at Marathon 1 bone marrow factory. In the red marrow deep in your ribs, there is a red blood cell factory that never turns off the lights. Hematopoietic stem cells divide and differentiate every day. 80 billion red blood cells. About 1 million births per second. These double-sided concave, transporter, abandoned nucleus. Just to maximize oxygen carrying capacity. Each red blood cell can carry approximately 280 million hemoglobin molecules. A single cycle can complete the whole body oxygen delivery. To the death march of the vascular highway. The heart is like a pump at 4,500 beats per hour. Push red blood cells into the total. A network of blood vessels about 200,000 kilometers long. That's 5 times around the equator. Red blood cells bind to oxygen as they flow through the lungs. It releases oxygen at the fingertips. After completing the mission, due to cell membrane aging, is engulfed by macrophages in the spleen. from birth to death in 120 days. Every red blood cell to circulate in the blood vessels of the whole body about 300,000 times. Finally, it disintegrates in the red blood cell graveyard of the spleen. A life contract for 3 special moments. The miracle of blood clotting before childbirth. A week before giving birth. Coagulation factor Vix in pregnant women. X will rise to 35 times its usual level. Fibrinogen content increased by 4050. So, this is hyperphysiological. Indicator changes. It is the body's defense line to prevent postpartum hemorrhage. Platelets at birth canal trauma. Aggregation forms primary thrombosis. Coagulation factor. Converting fibrinogen to fibrin. Weave into a network structure to strengthen the thrombus. Make the bleeding rate from a possible to 100 milliliters. Minutes plummeted to safe range. And here's what's amazing. Coagulation factor activity in fetal blood. Only 50 of the mother. This precise balance not only guarantees the safety of childbirth, does not affect fetal blood circulation, the self-sacrifice of the 4 organs, the double protection of the liver and stomach, 1 triple line of defense for liver detoxification. When you accidentally ingest aflatoxin in moldy foods, the liver kicks in. Detoxification trilogy, cytochrome P450. Enzymes first oxidize toxins into intermediates. UDP glucuronic acid transfer. Enzymes then combine it into a water-soluble substance, finally excreted by ABC transporter protein. In the process, hepatocytes can be toxic due to exposure, intermediate product damage, but they're updated every 5 months. Trade self-iteration for your safety. 2. Gastric acid corrosion and the attack and defense of gastric mucosa. Gastric glands secrete about 2 liters of pH per day, 5% stomach acid, which is strong enough to dissolve iron nails. But the mucus bicarbonate barrier on the surface of the gastric mucosa, like a protective net, maintain the pH of the gastric mucosa surface at 7, about 0. And here's what's amazing. Gastric epithelial cells every 72. It will be updated every hour. Those cells that are attacked by stomach acid will actively apoptosis. It's topped up by new cells. Let the stomach remain intact in a strong acid environment. Yugong of the 5th grade. Moving mountains. Nanotransportation of kinesins. Under the microscope, it's like having 2 legs. Molecular robotics. Using ATP as energy. 8 nanometers per step. Walk 100 steps per second. The distance traveled within the cell every day. That's human walking. 100 kilometers. A nerve that extends from the spinal cord to the toe. Cell axons are up to 1 meter long. Kinesin requires. It takes 2 weeks to complete a one-way shipment. This precise nanotransport goes wrong. It can lead to diseases such as Alzheimer's disease. Beta in the patient's brain. Amyloid deposition. Part. The reason is that the kinesin transport function is abnormal. The chemical messengers of emotions. When your brain secretes happiness factors for you. When you experience stress, the hypothalamus, the pituitary axis, is activated. Emotional first aid, pituitary release. Beta endorphins enter the bloodstream. Is this the same? Peptides with similar morphine structure can relieve psychological pain. Marathon runners sprint. Endorphin levels can increase by 23 times. This is where the thrill of running comes from. And when you're exposed to the cold, adrenaline binds to fat cells. Activation uncoupling. Annexin converts fat into calories. The thermal efficiency of brown fat is muscular. 300 times, it can quickly repel the cold for you. 7 mood conditioners, chemical comfort for the body. The pain-relieving magic of endorphins. Physical compensation for heartbreak when you cry. The pituitary gland releases beta endorphins. Binding to opioid receptors decreases pain sensitivity. 40. At the same time, the dopamine concentration in the nucleus accumbens increases by 25%. It's like feeding the brain with mood painkillers. The triggering mechanism of survival instinct. When the body temperature is below 35 degrees Celsius, adrenaline production surges tenfold. Brown fat produces heat and raises body temperature. and the hunger goes away. The body prioritizes the survival of core organs. 8. Life's last gentle adrenaline farewell ritual. 8.1 Survival procedures at the critical point of death. The evolutionary wisdom of the afraid of heights reflex. When you stand tall, the vestibular system sends danger signals to the brain. Adrenaline increases muscle tension. 300. Force the body to step back. It's hardwired into our DNA to prevent us from falling. Hormone distribution at the end of life. 30 seconds before the heart stops beating. The brain will last 80. Adrenaline is distributed to the optic nerve and laryngeal muscles. Let you see the faces of your loved ones clearly. Say the last word. Complete a biologically significant farewell ceremony. Epilogue. Dear Master, you always speak of loneliness. I don't know 80 trillion cells is forming a constellation of life for you. Immune cells are always on guard. Red blood cells are transporters who never retire. The organs are the willing guardians of self-destruction. From your first breath to your last heartbeat, they use 15 per day. The clearance of cancerous cells. Millions of red blood cells are born every second. Gastric mucosa renewed every 72 hours. Weave into a safety net that wraps your life. Next time you stay up late, remember that your liver is breaking down toxins for you when complaining about body shape. So think about fat cells storing energy for you. Give it a glass of warm water. It makes it easier for the kidneys to filter. Give it 8 hours of sleep. Let the immune cells complete their daily patrol, because for you is its only universe. And it is your eternal home from fertilized egg to epitaph. This epic life composed by cells. You don't need an audience, but it is worth reading for the rest of your life.